Hello, I'm Kelly with Whittle Advisors. Over the last 6 months, it's been an incredible honor to meet thousands of you in the industry as I've conducted presentations all across the country. I've often spoken about change, transitions, and a framework for managing change. This quite often is the most requested or sought after information in my presentation. I've brought you this information today via video as a way to help those who might not have participated in past presentations. In fact, at Whittle Advisors, we've developed a change management framework. It includes 6 pillars of change. Our base level is called foundation. The foundation of any change is a clear, measurable understanding of what it is you will accomplish as part of your change initiative. These are your objectives, if you will. If you can't measure your objectives or the change that you're seeking, it's probably not the right time to kick off a new change initiative. Every single healthcare organization in the industry has more opportunities for change than they have resources to staff. Be very selective in starting up a new project. The second pillar of change we call the boundary. Now, if you're an experienced project manager, you might refer to this as the scope of work. In fact, understanding exactly what tasks will be required to meet your objectives, as well as the timeline in which you will meet them, is an important part of this pillar called boundaries. Be sure to include what you will accomplish and highlight what you won't accomplish. All over the country, well-intentioned subject matter experts are gathering to deal with new change initiatives, and they happen to get into something called scope creep. Scope creep is when non-essential tasks and initiatives get lumped up onto a project as something nice to have or nice to complete. 90+% of all projects fail due to scope creep. By adding these non-essential tasks, you're overtaxing the organization, and the timeline is likely to cost you from ever achieving your initial objective. Be very cautious of scope creep. The third pillar in our framework is the pillar of resources. No effort can be accomplished without aggregating the right group of people to achieve that effort. In fact, when you think about who is required to sit on your project, make sure that you're bringing folks to the table that have the authority to make decisions. You don't want any recorders to be part of your team, meaning folks who are recording the meeting outcomes and taking it back to some other resource to make the decisions. This will slow down the process, and much like the telephone game that you played as a child, the messages often get skewed or changed before they reach the decision maker. Another key point when staffing your project team is to exclude all spectators from your team work, meaning don't allow folks to sit at the project table for 2 or 3 meetings in a row without contributing knowledge or taking away tasks. There's no organization in the healthcare industry that can afford to waste resource time by having spectators at meetings. The fourth pillar in our framework is all about communications. Be sure to focus on your quick wins. Share with the organization what you're accomplishing, even if it's simply the fact that you have developed a timeline or that you've gathered the right resources to take part in the project initiative. Be sure to communicate these through newsletters, agenda items on standing meetings, and hallway conversations. Share liberally with others how your project is succeeding. The fifth pillar is barriers. Now, as a leader in your organization, it is very likely that you are already booking your calendar 2 or 3 weeks in advance. It is an incredible amount of work that you tackle in any given week. If you're going to lead a project initiative, it's important that you clear your calendar for 2 or 3 hours a week to be able to handle unexpected barriers. Every single project or change initiative has unexpected barriers. There's no way around it. If the entire team is bogged down in inertia while you free up your calendar to be able to manage the barriers, you're going to develop a lag in motivation and likely cause your project to fall apart. Be sure to free up time on your calendar to handle the barriers. The final piece of our change management framework is the piece called leadership. As the leader, it's very important that you be able to articulate the value of your change initiative, the resources that are involved, and what progress you're making. You might think of it a little like an elevator pitch, a 90 to 120 second pitch giving the status of your project will take you very far in goodwill and resource allocation. Be sure to drive back your outcomes to those original objectives so that you know when your project has succeeded, and make sure to share your success. If you'd like to explore the change management framework or learn additional best practices for managing change, be sure to reach out to us at Whittle Advisors. I'll see you next time.